The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. There was a wedding at Cana in Galilee. The mother of Jesus was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited. When they ran out of wine, since the wine provided for the wedding was all finished, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." Jesus said, "Woman, why turn to me? My hour has not come yet." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." There were 6 stone water jars standing there, meant for the ablutions that are customary among the Jews. Each could hold 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And they filled them to the brim. "Draw some out now," he told them, "and take it to the steward." They did this. The steward tasted the water, and it had turned into wine. Having no idea where it came from, only the servants who had drawn the water knew. The steward called the bridegroom and said, "People generally serve the best wine first and keep the cheaper sort till the guests have had plenty to drink. But you have kept the best wine till now." This was the first of the signs given by Jesus. It was given at Cana in Galilee. He let his glory be seen, and his disciples believed in him. The Gospel of the Lord. Dear brothers and sisters, we quite familiar with the story, the wedding feast at Cana. We often find ourselves like the bridegroom in difficult situation and really need God to help us because our problems are beyond us. There is a true story of a blind man, Tom, not his real name, who is now in his 60s. Tom was very angry with life because of his blindness. He was so depressed and had lost all hope and meaning in life that on many occasions he wanted to commit suicide. Tom's mother, unable to help him much, but urged him as a last resort to go to Lourdes to pray to Our Lady for a miraculous healing. Tom was not a Catholic. He reluctantly agreed to go and probably told himself that it was the last chance he was giving himself. At Lourdes, following the other pilgrims, Tom was lowered into the bath water at the grotto of Our Lady, while he prayed for healing. When he came out of the water, no miracle happened. Tom was still blind, and he didn't feel healed at all. Feeling disappointed, he returned home. Tom's mother was very worried for her suicidal son. She prayed very hard to God and Our Lady to intercede for her son's need. Days, weeks, and months went by, and surprisingly, Tom, in his quiet ways, did not show signs that his depression was worsening. In fact, he looked more peaceful and his behavior became more stable. He did not seem to be angry with life anymore. While Tom was not physically healed, he was emotionally and interiorly healed. Tom didn't lose his hope when he was still blind at the last resort. Jesus healed his heart and strengthened his hope that Tom was able to accept his blindness through the renewal that he felt within. Even he shared with his friends that after he went to Lourdes, he was surprised to find that he had an inner strength to go beyond his anger of being blind. Dear brothers and sisters, it is a great blessing for us as Christians that we are taught not to give up or losing our hope easily. We believe that we will find ourselves in any situation where we are totally helpless, abandoned, and alone when we are in need. Mother Mary is the great example of believing in God. When she noticed that wine in the wedding party was all finished, she said to Jesus, "They have no more wine." And Jesus replied, "Woman, why turn to me? My hour has not come yet." But Mary did not give up. "Do whatever he tells you," she ordered the servants. And indeed, water is changed into wine, the best wine they ever had. Jesus performed his first miracle and changed his hour, so to say, because it pleased him to listen to his mother's request. There is an illustration story that shows us how to pray as believers. A woman named Edna finds herself in trouble. Her business has gone bust and she is in serious financial trouble. She is so desperate that she decides to ask God for help. She begins to pray, "God, please help me. I've lost my business, and if I don't get some money, I'm going to lose my house as well. Please let me win the lotto." Lotto night comes, and somebody else wins it. Edna was disappointed and again prayed, "God, please let me win the lotto. I have lost my business, my house, and I'm going to lose my car as well." Lotto night comes and Edna still has no luck. Once again she prays, "My God, why have you forsaken me? I've lost my business, my house, and my car. My children are starving. I don't often ask you for help, and I have always been a good servant to you. Please, just let me win the lotto this one time so I can get my life back in order." Suddenly, there is a blinding flash of light as the heavens open, and Edna is confronted by the voice of God himself. "Edna, I am not forsaken you, but at least buy a ticket." Dear brothers and sisters, I'm not encouraging you to buy 4D or Toto by telling you this story. This story is also not just a joke, but is telling us how to pray. When we are in need, Jesus always helps us with some sort of supply. And the gospel assures us that in whatever way he helps us, he is always generous. Therefore, let us always cling to him in faith and confidence. And at the same time, let us not forget to bear in mind that we too must play our part. Jesus will not work if we on our side do not contribute. The servants at Cana supplied him with the water that he changed into wine. We too must be willing to contribute from whatever we have in Jesus' plan of salvation. Jesus is very generous with us. He wants us to be generous as well. The big question is though, how generous are we? Amen.